Hi everyone, welcome back to Nature's BS for another week. Hope you all had a wonderful week. I had a nice week. How about you, Andy?
I've had a great week. Yeah, really busy. The gardening is full tilt at the moment. It's tidying season, so everybody's wanting all the leaves raked off their lawns and out of their beds, and I'm shaking my head at them while they're telling it to me. And yeah, but what's really good about that is we're making lots and lots and lots of compost heaps for leaf litter. So
True.
that is very good because then there's lots of cool places for insects to be and for hedgehogs to hibernate. So
Yeah, not the worst then.
it's not the worst, but
Yeah.
they'd have much better beds if they just left it on. Maybe not their
It has to be
lawn,
clean and
but
pure.
but uh, but yeah, but there we go. But other than that, yeah, it's been really good. What have you been up to?
Not much myself. Kind of day trips out and about, but nothing too exciting. Hope everyone's had a nice week of chats. You got Pookie, you got Nathan. Hi Nathan. Got Peaky as well. Any highlights from everyone's week out there?
Yeah, please do share. Please let us know what you've been seeing. We'll be talking about our highlights soon. I actually got to go on a wildlife walk on Saturday, so I
Ooh.
got out into nature properly and went for a good walk. So didn't see a lot though,
Oh,
which is a little bit disappointing. I went looking for redwings and I didn't see any in trees. I think I watched them fly overhead a few times,
all right. It
but
was a nice walk at least by the
yeah, it
sounds
was a
of it.
lovely walk. The weather was great, so
Hmm. I'd love to see some of the winter birds like redwings and fieldfares. Haven't seen any of them yet, so they're definitely around. I just need to look out for
yeah,
them.
I'm pretty sure I saw redwings. I don't think I saw any field fares. Plenty of redwings here, says Pookie. That's good. Yeah, you were taking pictures of them the other day. That was very cool.
Mm.
And I haven't seen any waxwing yet either, but I think it's a bit early for them. They're normally January, February time once they've finished
Yeah,
feasting on all the berries in Scandinavia. So,
give them time.
yeah. Oh, Nathan says, my highlight was the snow bunting and the hoverfly larvae fighting on the cobalt crust fungus. Ooh.
Those pictures were oh,
I'm
just
going,
amazing.
I'm going to look now.
Highly recommend checking out our Discord channel if you haven't already. But yeah, pictures, just everyone's pictures.
Pookie says,
Yeah,
just
that
some
that
bug
was one of my
friends.
favorites from
Just some
Nathan.
bug friends. Few butterflies.
Like the really cool deep blue and the two horrified larvae. Like I know you didn't do it, but it looks like you just like place them there, just like start fighting each other, and it looks very well framed. Like it's just a lovely composition. It's very cool.
He's got images of hen hired as Pookie. Oh, it's a male hen harrier as well.
Yeah, just you say that Pookie Hen Harriet probably my top encounter of the week.
Yeah.
See that female says Pookie.
Is it a female? It's grey.
Hmm.
I
Check
might
the
be
wildlife
looking at it.
accounts as
It
well.
might just be the way the light's hitting it. I only looked at the underwing. Yeah, you're right. It is a
Mm.
female. Because the top's brown. It's just the way the underwing looked blue.
Nathan said I did move it a bit, move the bit of the log so it was upright, so slightly posed. I must admit. That's I'd say on the scale of posing wildlife, that is right at the bottom end.
That is
That's a gorgeous one.
it's
It is
a
just like a
gorgeous
lichen
image.
moth,
Absolutely gorgeous
lichen the shape of a
image.
moth. Too fast to get good pictures, says Pookie. It's a great picture to get. A great, yeah,
Of
great
the
picture
hen
to get at
harrier
all.
is fantastic.
Cracking photo.
It's always those things though, like you get that quite a lot when you're out taking pictures of birds. Is they'll be doing the thing you don't want them to do, like
Mm-hmm.
flying away for you, for example, or you're expecting them to be coming in from the left because you've watched them for a while and they've come in, like trying to take pictures of swallows or swifts or something. So they always seem to follow this roughly the same route when they're hunting. So you're like, right, okay, I'll sit here and I'll wait 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 and then never go through that frame again. Was happy with the red green carpet photo I put in the moth folder. Ooh, yes, there was more. There's so much more that I just haven't even looked at yet.
The moth picture is lovely.
Okay, so ID help. Okay, that was cool.
It's really nice. It's really wholesome, like scrolling. Like just going through our Discord.
Pookie. Oh, look at that autumn image. Oh
That
my
was
word, the light on
early
that is
morning mist and
phenomenal.
sunrise. Gorgeous.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Pookie, like the red shroom. That was from today. Guessed the name of it by looking at it. Oh. A quiz now of guess the wildlife fungi name. You gotta come up with a name for.
Looks like red
Hi, Barnacle.
paper.
Hey, Barnacle.
Hey, Barnacle.
Actually, so you can guess the name of it just by looking. I'm curious what the name of this red mushroom is.
Yeah,
to describe it, it's like a shriveled, like fruit peel.
I would say it looks like a red piece of crumpled paper to me.
Is it the crumply red fungus? Crumply red paper fungus.
That as well. God, that moth is. Look at scales on that moth.
Oh, it's orange peel fungus. I was thinking that. Orange peel fungus. Thank you, Pookie. Crungus. Yeah. Sorry, Pookie is now officially the Crungus. Crungus fungus.
Yeah,
It's a good time for fungi.
That's phenomenal as well. So it's just that image. Like my camera doesn't pick it up because it's just too bright. Please go to our Discord channel and check them out if you haven't already. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to put our Discord link into the chat. There we go. I do hope it's still working.
No complaints so far, so hopefully.
Yeah.
Still good.
Right. Will we do our wildlife encounters then?
Yeah, let's go on for our ones.
Yeah. Go on then. I'll let you do the first one.
Okay, I'll go on first. What should I start with? I've had quite a good moth week as well, actually. I'll start with my moths. Go for lovely angle shades. Can't go wrong with an angle shades. Yeah, this is my first one of the autumn. So they have two broods, I think. So I think first flight season's early spring, and then the second around autumn, so kind of either side of the summer. This is my first one in the autumn, which was really lovely. It's kind of a street moth. It was like there's a block of flats, and then there's that kind of very plain lawn in front of it, which just look a bit sad looking. And then on the very border, where it just can't get cut every time, there's a few wildflowers struggling to get through. So there's a nice dock leaf there. And then I was walking along and just saw lovely angle shades resting on the leaf. I was like, oh, it's a nice surprise.
Cool.
Yeah, remind me of paper planes. Oh, that's true. The like angle off the tail. Yeah, I saw one outside the Weatherspoons in Bangor. Mine was a bit further down the high street. But it could have been. It could have just drifted down. If the wind blew it in that direction down the high street.
Could have been the same one.
Maybe. I could have had a joint wildlife encounter. It'd be amazing. But yeah, that's a lovely one. And then a proper street moth. Like there's a proper shop moth with a really lovely feathered thorn. That was on the Building Society. Yeah, yet again, like I say, I'm always, whenever I'm outside on the streets or anything, I'm just looking for moths. It's so much more fun than looking at the grey concrete and stuff. I'm just looking for moths, like windowsills. Like windowsills, like frames to windows, doors, any like nooks or crannies they might can hide themselves in. This one's on the Building Society, so like large glass, like floor to ceiling window panes, and this is just on the bottom of them. The poor people inside, there's a couple having meeting by the looks of it with someone in there, and I'll just crouch on the window next to the window with my phone.
And they're
They
wondering
probably
what on
thought I was a
earth
bit.
is that idiot
Yeah.
doing?
It's like, why are they just taking a photo of the ground for no reason? But yes, this is my top street moth of the week.
That's a
Lovely
good
feathered
find,
fawn.
that. That's a great find.
They're a lovely moth. I love the kind of rusty, kind of like all the beech trees, like that kind
Yeah.
of browny, orangey, yellow leaf. It's really lovely.
Quite a few
Ooh,
up
Bangor Mountain.
Bangor Mountain. Barnacle Bomb says, I love the term street moth. I like the term street moth as well. It sounds like a superhero name.
Street fighting crimes.
Fighting
Then,
crime.
like,
Street moth.
and then the street lamp just gets distracted. It's like, ooh. It's like, I've just been, Mom, tell me this. Yes.
Don't look at the light.
Not the light. So it's good if it's pitch black.
Yeah.
Good superhero.
But maybe that's street moth's superpower. Okay, is to be able to turn off all lights instantly.
Oh.
Okay, and they can see in the dark.
That would be cool.
So that's their
Yeah.
superpower, being able to see in the dark and turn all lights out so it doesn't get attracted to the light.
Fights light pollution.
Oh, yeah. Street moth
I feel like there's
fights light pollution.
There's a good like campaign or something like that going around the street moth fighting.
We could start that campaign.
We should. Right, next week.
Streetlights be their kryptonite. Yeah, Barnacle Bum.
God, I've got an idea. This is great.
We must flesh this idea out more.
Yes.
Nature's BS starts the campaign against light pollution.
There's also campaigns out there. We can just get them all to coalesce under street moths.
Well, if you think about it, like stopping light pollution, if every town and city turned off all their lights at a certain time, whatever time that may be, let's say 1 o'clock in the morning, and didn't turn them back on again, like, can you imagine how much money they would save and how much less energy would need to be produced?
Yeah.
I think all of
like
those streetlights, how much energy that is generated to turn all of them on.
Just a huge amount. Then everyone has like their own homes and things. They might have like floodlights outside, and they're not covered at all. So it's just like a bulb strapped to the side of their house, and it's just glowing a bit on the ground, but then a lot of it's going on the neighbour's doorway, and it's all just going into the sky. So it's completely waste. So you have like a little hood, so it's not going into the sky, just going straight down. Good for your wallet. Good for the moths.
Yeah.
Good all around.
Save money. Turn off your lights.
Save money and moths.
It's not even just us saving our money. It would be like council saving lots of money. Mothman was one of the OG Minutemen from the Watchmen. Yes, it is. Yeah, Mothman is.
True.
I remember
Bring
that.
them back.
Of the old guard, yeah. There's a really good. So they've done an animated version of the Watchmen comics, because obviously they did the Watchmen movie, so they've now done an animated version, and it's only the first part that they've released so far, and it's really, really good. If you've never read the graphic novels, by the way, highly recommend the Watchmen graphic novels.
I'll keep an eye for that.
Cool, right. Carrying on.
I'm on to my next moth. Might as well get through all my moths at once. Lovely micro. Agonopteryx aranella. Quite a common one. This was on a fun trip I went to on Inniserial, also known as Puffin Island, in North Wales, off the eastern tip of Anglesey. So I got the chance to go over, just doing some maintenance and stuff over there. But that was a really fun trip. Seeing all the seals around and it's one of the top cormorant and shag colonies in the whole of the UK, which I didn't realise.
Cool.
And a great place for seabirds. So all like classic seabirds like kittiwakes, razorbills, guillemots. There are a few puffins still there. So that's why it's called Puffin Island, because that's like the big thing. So if you can view Puffin Island, there will be merchandise with puffins all over it. Yeah, that's just how it works. Puffins are very merchandisable.
Puffins are probably the most popular seabird going. Like all the RSPB reserves have puffins. So you look at South Stack, Bempton, Ramsey Island. Like all of them will get really
Yeah,
busy when the puffins arrive. Like Skomer's the same, obviously. Everyone
yeah,
goes there just to see the puffins. I don't know what it is about puffins. They are exceedingly cool birds, but so are razorbills, and so are kittiwakes, and so are
yeah,
guillemots. They're all cool, but they don't have cool coloured beaks. I suppose that's what it is.
yeah. It'd be interesting to ask people, why do you like the puffins? Why do you come here? Oh, they're just so cute and things.
Like out of the three you normally see together, which are puffins, not kittiwakes, sorry, razorbills and guillemots. I love the razorbill. I think the razorbill's such a cool bird.
They are very cool. Like the jet black, and then when they open their mouths, like that bright yellow gape. Oh,
Yeah, and then they got the white streak
really
as well. Oh, so cool.
cool. Just seabirds in general. Top class birds.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a nice trip to Puffin Island or Inner Serial, where they're doing a lot of rat eradication work. Because it's not far from the mainland, so it has had rat introduction to it. So there's lots of work to try and remove those rats to help all the seabirds and other breeding birds up there and things like that. Yes, very fun trip over to Puffin Island. And then my other trip went to RSPB Conway, which is a lovely RSPB reserve up here. Went last week, end of last week. So a nice little grebe picture. So the lagoons there are a bit dried up as we head toward, like at the end of the summer. So before the rain starts coming back in force, the lagoons are a bit drier, but still plenty of things to see. All the winter ducks are starting to make their way there, and then you've got all the kind of permanent residents, which is nice. So you've got like the great crested grebe, little grebes here. I love watching little grebes. I think small grebes, it's really nice.
Yeah, I saw my first ones this year. My first one was actually at Frampton.
Ah,
And then
nice.
I saw quite a lot when I was in Wales, so this year as well.
Yeah. Not sure what their ranges or anything, but I think they're doing pretty good here in Wales, which is nice to see.
Little
And
balls.
they're adorable. Yeah, little balls, little wee puddings of barnacle. They're adorable.
I love the
I love watching
rusty colour across the back of the head as well.
Yeah, their plumage from like winter to summer,
Yeah.
and like the Judals things, just great colour and patterns and things. It's really lovely. And they are just so tiny, and they just like dive down and just bob up. Like the great crystal cubes, they come up and they kind of, I don't know, like more graceful, kind of like, and then this little is going to, boop. It's so tiny, rubber duck. They're just so cute. I love them. Yeah, watch them for a bit. Then there's a lovely robin encounter. So that's my last picture of the week. I feel like they've been fed or something like that, because I was walking the path and they just hopped out in front of me, just stared at me. I was like, okay. Stood there, wait for it, and it just kind of hopped closer and just kind of stared at me like I was expecting some food.
I love robins.
Which it probably was. I didn't have any food, but it was just great to sit there for 5 minutes and just have that kind of like one-to-one encounter with a bird. It was really lovely. To sit there and watch each other. Being close enough to birds is really nice.
So close that you can see each individual feather on this image. Great shot. And that eye as well. Look at that lovely bit of chestnut around the iris.
God, it's a lovely bird.
It is a lovely pick, Barnacle Bomb, you're right.
This was like fully zoomed out. I was too close. I had to wait for the robin to kind of hop away slowly. I was like, okay, now I can get a picture of you. But yeah, that was a lovely encounter. Can't go wrong with the robin.
They're so bold.
Like
they're just not.
Like they fly towards you.
Yeah. And you can see the phone in the reflection in the eye.
Okay. The robin was like showing you a picture of the poor thing. But that was really lovely. Yeah, it's been my encounters of the week.
Lovely.
Yeah. What's your week been like?
Oh, my week's been all right. Like I said, I managed to get out on Saturday,
Hmm.
and we went for a nice walk up on Budby, and we were wandering around, and uh, the I took an image of what it was like in the what kind of day it was, and I thought it was just stunning day. So I took a picture of like the birch trees turning colour and the way the light was coming in and stuff from the left. I thought, oh, that's quite a nice picture. So I thought I'd take that.
Oh, that's lovely.
So this is up in the northwest side of Budby Reserve. A lovely little birch wooded area up there. And I like wandering around because you get to hear lots of bird song. And I know that there's a tawny owl nest in the area. So there's a chance of seeing a tawny owl, which I didn't see, unfortunately. But it was definitely worthwhile going up just to get this image and to hear the bird song.
Hmm.
So yeah, but as we were wandering around, didn't see many birds. Heard a few, but didn't see a lot.
Hmm.
But I did have this lovely encounter, which really surprised
Hmm.
me. And this is lovely deer. Now I'm not very
Oh.
good at identifying deer. I think this is a red deer. Please,
Hmm.
please correct me if I am wrong.
I'm like okay, but nowhere near
No,
good.
but yeah, it's obviously a female.
I think so. Yeah.
And she was
I
just
think
stood there and she looked at me for ages. Long enough for me to
well, it
get
is
a
kind
good couple
of.
pictures. So
It is a lovely picture, kind of looking towards you but not at you, and nice. That kind of mottled green and yellow
yeah.
behind, and then a nice dead bracken kind of coppery color in front. It's really nice.
Only get roe deer here, so my IDs are easy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a red deer. I know that they've got roe and red up on Budby. I'm pretty sure this
Mm.
is a red.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever seen a stag up there. So
Mm. Are they free roaming or are they kind of
yeah, they're free
enclosed on the
roaming.
reserve?
Yeah, completely free
That's
roaming.
nice.
So Budby isn't fenced off. Like areas of it are fenced. So they
Mm.
have enclosures because they allow. Uh, so it's so Sherwood and Budby is part of the Thorsby estate. Thorsby estate's massive. You can go to Thorsby Hall. They've got that's just up the road from Sherwood, and it's really good nature reserve area and that as well. You can go wandering around. It's fantastic. Good chance of seeing goshawk there, although I never have. But anyway, so
Mm.
I'm not quite sure where to go to see them, but yeah, definitely goshawk around. So during the spring and summer and autumn, Budby and Sherwood use longhorn cattle. I've shown them before on the stream to trample the bracken because it's the best way of managing bracken. Not that they eat it because it's poisonous, but they trample it, which suppresses it quite well, allowing other foliage and other plant life to flourish a little bit.
Mm.
So uh, the fences are up to hold them in. As Pookie said, deer ignore fences here. Well, they very much ignore fences in Budby and Sherwood as well. They just leap over them. So, because they're not that high, it's just a standard fence that you'd see around a field. So yeah, it's they seem to move around quite easily, which is really cool. So this was in one of the enclosures on Budby. It reminds me of Roe if I have a nosy on the Google. Okay. Please do that, Barnacle. I'm like I say, I'm not very good at identifying deer. I'd
Mm.
say it's a red, but I'm probably completely wrong. Red
Because like the red deer are just
deer
huge.
female.
Yeah.
No, it's not a red. It's definitely a roe.
Ah, okay.
It's
There
not
we
a
go.
red. I may be wrong with them having red deer at Budbee as well. Roe deer.
Nice and barnacle.
Yeah, there you go. Roe deer. So yeah, it's probably too small as well. Am I able to do a link? Yep, female western roe, thank you. Nope, you're not. Let me see it, and then I will copy that, and I will post it for you. There we go, that's the link that Barnacle Bomb was attempting to put on. Thank you for sharing that with me, Barnacle. You know what I forgot to do, Barnacle, even after you shared that fantastic link with me earlier in the week on Discord? I haven't listened to it for my wildlife focus. Yeah, so you're going to get some... Yes, Barnacle, you knew it.
Being called out.
Yeah, but Barnacle shared an amazing link with me earlier in the week that allows me to listen to a word in Gaelic to help me be able to pronounce it properly. And because I've obviously been doing that really badly in the last couple of weeks, or the entire time we've been doing it.
Every barnacle's like, oh god, it's not right at all.
So what I might do is I might listen to it quickly while we're Wipes the Butcher's blog.
Barnacles had enough.
Indeed.
The
Cool.
last straw.
Anyway, moving on to my final wildlife encounter. And this, I found this while I was mowing a lawn and had to move some stuff off of an old tree stump. Because the tree stump's really low and I could actually get the lawnmower over the top of it. And I found these, what I think are either snail or slug eggs in a crevice.
Cue Nathan to help us.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen slug eggs, but I don't think I've seen snail eggs. I don't know.
And I thought these were really, really cool.
Huh. That's amazing. They look very artificial.
They do. They look like little droplets of like plastic.
Yeah, what's those like plastic beads which you put into water and then they expand? And then I don't know what you do with them afterwards, but it looks like those where they just expanded with water. Ooh, Barnacle says snail eggs I've seen look white, but that means nothing. Orbeez, that's the one, Barnacle, thank you.
Orbeez.
They do look whitish. But yeah, I do not have the experience or knowledge to help narrow it down, but it's very cool to see. Very cool egg. Orbeez. What do you even use Orbeez for? Because it's just like plastic which grows and then goes everywhere. Bees eggs. Oh, or bees. Ah, okay. I like bees eggs. Just spreading pollinators everywhere. And plastic beads. TikTok.
Slugs and snails can both have eggs that look like this. Thank you, Nathan.
Ah.
So it's one or the other. But yeah, it was just really cool. I saw them and I thought, well, I better take a picture of them because they're really cool. So
That's very cool.
You'll need to hatch some.
And here they are today.
I am sure there are lots and lots and lots in my garden somewhere too. So the slug in the bottom right might give it away. Well, it's very true.
Scene of the crime.
Very true. But there we go. So yeah, so they were my wildlife encounters this week. It was great actually. Just getting out again. I haven't been able to do it for basically since I've been to Wales. I haven't been able to get out and do stuff. But now, yeah, I shall try again this weekend.
Yeah. Nice. It's always good to get out. Enjoy some wildlife, some peace and quiet.
It is. Very much so. What about yourself, Barnacle? So Nathan has told us about his encounters, and Pookie's told us about his encounters, a hen harrier, and Nathan with his lovely moths. And whatnot. But what about you, Barnacle?
Hmm.
What did you see anything cool?
What rare bird has flown into your
Into
kitchen
your
and
kitchen
perched
window
on your
this
counter?
time,
And
yeah.
yeah, that's been really nice. Just getting notifications from the Discord looking at the wildlife
Yeah.
encounters and things. It's a really, it's like brain, good for the brain, kind of scrolling and things.
Yeah, it
Just some
relaxes you. Like
wildlife.
seeing people's
Yeah.
like it's why I love watching things like Spring Watch and stuff as well, because you might not be able to get out into nature, but you can watch nature. Talking about
Hmm.
that, have you been watching the new David Attenborough
Asia.
series, Asia?
Not yet, but I will be because I've heard good things.
Barnacle Bum says, haha, just a white feather star, pale peacock fan worm, as birdie as I've got, hee hee. This stuff sound amazing though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't watched the new BBC nature documentary Asia, narrated by Sir David Attenborough, I highly recommend it. The first episode, in fact, all episodes are available on BBC iPlayer
Oh, really?
straight away. Yeah, the first episode is Beneath the Waves, and the second episode is Above the Clouds. So obviously, the first episode's about water, and the second episode's about like mountaintops. My camera and phone are both
That's cool.
heaving, so need to delete stuff to make room. I have that experience as well, Barnacle Bob, and I find it so difficult to delete anything. Even a terrible picture that's super blurry, because I know you'll all laugh at it if I ever decide to show it. So
In the best way possible. We laugh along with you.
a proper Andy pic. I've got many of them.
Make a week of Andy picks now coming up.
We give Andy pics.
Everyone can only submit Andy picks. Oh, we should have an Andy picks folder.
An Andy
No,
pics.
maybe that's going too.
No, that's a good idea. I like that. Andy pics
It's going to be
folder.
fun. Who can get the most Andyest pick?
What you gotta remember is it's got, because it all started off with the red squirrel,
Yeah.
so it's got to be like a red squirrel, but not.
Hmm.
Barnacle, I automatically jump into videos. Why have I saved blurry sea pics where the seal didn't pop up? Yep.
The memories. Yeah, I feel like for it to qualify as an Andy pick, it has to include the bit of wildlife
Has to include the bit of
that you're
wildlife.
taking it off. It has to technically be there, but when you see the full picture, you're like,
Where is it?
what? No, it's not.
What am I looking at?
Yeah.
It's there. It's right there. It's not
And then
there.
you zoom in, and then you're just like, really? Like, yeah. And it's like pixel, 2 pixels of like brownie, right? Like, yeah, that's in there. Okay.
No, super distant shots aren't like, it's got to be close as well.
Hmm.
But that's what was so cool about the red squirrel one.
You're gonna have like an Andy week or something like that.
There we go. Anyway, shall we move on to our species focuses?
Yes.
Focus eye.
Yeah, I'll go for my one. So this was another bit of wildlife I found in a cereal, so Puffin Island, and it's an island which is very much covered by lots of very short, stubby elder trees, which was very like I don't think I'd seen that many in like one setting before, which was very pretty. And along with elders, this time of year, there are plenty of jelly ear funguses. So I thought I'd go over a bit more, which I don't think we've covered. And if we have, it's been a while. Let's go over a bit about this one. Always give them a jiggle because it's great fun to tickle a jelly ear fungus. Just funguses in general, give them a tickle. And jelly ear funguses are great. They have a great gelatinous texture. So good for the brain, good for the mind and soul. Just give a little tickle. Jelly ear fungus with its scientific name Auricularia auricula judea, which is mainly seen in winter and spring. They are fairly frequent in Britain and Ireland, as well as in most countries of mainland Europe and parts of Asia and North America. It's a very widespread fungus. The jelly ear fungus is seen mainly, but certainly not exclusively, on dead elderwood in damp, shady locations. This fungus is also found in many parts of Asia and in Australia. Auricola is a Latin word meaning ear, and Judea means Judas, so the Jew who is said to have betrayed Jesus. Older common names for this species include wood ear and Judas's ear, with the latter a reference to the belief that Judas Iscariot hanged himself on an elder tree in shame after betraying Jesus Christ to his executioners. The legend, which dates back more than 400 years, suggests that the fungal ears that emerge from elderwood are visible residues of Judas's tormented spirit. It's a nice bit of post-Halloween spookiness for you there. Jelly ear is popular in Chinese cuisine, where it is known as wood ears. It is used medicinally until at least the 1860s, and is thought that fungi that look like body parts could be used to treat that body part. It was therefore used to treat eye conditions, as eyes are gelatinous like the fungus, and throat problems, as jelly ear structures was considered similar to the throats. The herbalist John Gerard recommended a remedy for sore throats made by boiling jelly ear in milk. So there we go. A bit about the jelly ear. It's a lovely fungus.
It's very cool. Gelatinous eyes just gave me the.
Give it a tick and think, oh, that's what my eye is like.
Oh, I have lost us. There we go. We're back.
Uh-huh. Oh.
We are back. That was my fault. Sorry.
Yes, Michael. They're edible, but they don't provide a good flavour. But in Chinese cuisine, they're added a lot for just the texture, which I imagine will be you either love it or hate it kind of thing, because it's kind of a slightly gelatinous texture. But yes, they are edible. But be very careful with foraging fungi. Please consult experts. Do not use ID apps and just books without any knowledge, because it can be very dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, Judas's ear. I think jelly ear and Judas's ear are the two very common ones.
Excuse me. Cool.
Yeah.
What's that? Fungus. I will consult with a mouse expert. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Fun.
Or a moose expert. Moose.
Moose.
It's a moose. Or is it a moose?
Moose.
Is a moose loose about this hoose? Do you remember that advert?
I don't.
Oh.
I'm missing out. It sounds great fun.
Tune, says Barnacle.
I think Barnacle remembers it.
Barnacle remembers it. Is a moose loose about this hoose? I'm pretty sure it's wine. It's the Wine Gums advert, which used to be on TV quite a lot around Christmas. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, Wine Gums. Oh, there's my homework for this week.
Right, shall we move on to my one?
Yes.
Hootsman, there's a moose loose about this hoose. Fetch the wine gums. Yeah, there you go, Barnacle. Thank you.
Cultural learning as well. It's great.
Always, never ends.
So educational.
It is. So this week, I decided to do one of my favourite little woodland birds.
Oh.
And it is the nuthatch.
Love that.
I love nuthatches. I think they're so cute. They look like bandits because of their little like the black stripe across their eyes.
Those are like they're poised. They're like,
yeah.
They're ready to just dart around and
ninja
like,
pose.
Yeah.
So the nuthatch is a charismatic inhabitant of woodland and an agile visitor to bird tables. A handsome bird with a similar shape and structure to a woodpecker, the nuthatch has a slate grey back, black eye stripe, white cheeks, and orange breast. It is possible to distinguish male birds by their contrasting dark rufous flanks. So do we think my one is a male? I think it's a male, yes.
That's cool.
There we go. Birds can be seen all year round in the UK, particularly in old deciduous woodland, although the species is absent from Northern Ireland and central to northern Scotland. The species possesses a range of loud whistling calls. Nuthatches nest in tree holes or nest boxes, reinforcing the nest entrance with dried mud. Up to 8 eggs are laid. The nuthatch UK population trends shows a significant increase since the 1970s, which may be caused by a fall in the rate of nest failure and an increase in brood size and the number of chicks successfully reared per breeding attempt. There we go, which is very cool.
Wow.
So what is it? So we said 68. It's 22.1 grams in weight. That's their average weight of a nuthatch. So actually, it's a sizable bird.
It's pretty chunky, yeah.
Yeah, they are quite big. I wouldn't have expected 8 eggs. I wouldn't have expected 8 eggs either, Barnacle. Population size. So there's about 250,000 territories.
Wow.
That's quite a lot. It's category A, so that is fine. It's breeding and nesting. So the first clutch is laid around about the 23rd of April, so anywhere from the 10th of April to the 6th of May. All I expect that's moving closer to beginning of April as our springs seem to be happening a bit earlier. The egg size is 20 by 15 millimeters. So 2 centimeters by 1.5 centimeters. So not a small egg either. So 8 of them. Wow. Incubation period is 16 to 17 days. That's all done by the female. Fledging period is 23 to 25 days. Survival and longevity. Ooh, okay, so last week, we talked about the oyster catcher, and it lived for 41 years, didn't it?
That's ridiculous.
The longest surviving ringed one was 41 years old. How old do you think the maximum age from ringing for a nuthatch is?
It's not going to be as long.
So I'm going to say the typical lifespan is 2 years.
I'm going to think it's like 16.
16,
pretty high.
Okay, so 16 from Nick.
Because you had some, like the oyster catcher. What was the average for the...
It was 11 years, I think.
11 years. Yeah, it was a lot longer.
Barnacle said 10 years. Piggy's also said, I call them drama burbs. If they encounter other birds, they can go off. Sweeping, repeating tone, starts high and goes down and up again. Yep, Pookie says that's 12. Cool. Excellent. Okay, so we've got 10 or 12. Yeah, they are, like, they do bully birds off of bird tables and stuff, I've observed as well.
I'm curious now.
I'm curious. I want to see if anybody else wants to take a guess. While they're doing that, I want to see if I can find a picture. I'm pretty sure I've got a nuthatch image.
It's like they're having an argument, says Pookie. I can't remember the last time I seen a nuthatch. Do love them a lot.
Oh, I think they're great birds. I really do.
Probably the spring, to be honest. Because I went to any on Scone, so I didn't see any there.
Yeah, I showed an image of one a good while ago, and it was on a bird table, and it had a what do you call it coming in from the back? A blue tit coming in from the background. The colour reminds me of a wheater. Yeah, I can see that actually. Like the chest, the orange chest, that lovely buff orange. Yeah, it's amazing.
We've got a nice big eye stripe as well.
Cool. So the maximum age from ringing is 11 years and 2 days, set in 2017.
So there's an average between Barnacle and Pookie.
Yeah.
Spot on.
That is a long time for a small bird.
Wow. So tiny.
Okay, so here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready for my my butchering?
Oh, let's go.
In different languages. So in Gaelic,
okay, so Barnacle
is Skolton. Oltan. Oh, it partied
Golden.
hard for its 11th birthday. It did. Had a hangover for 2 days and then couldn't get over it.
Keeled over, yeah.
Yeah. Skulton, or Galton.
Golden.
In Dutch, it's boom clever.
Dutch again with just the fun names.
Boom clever, boom cleaver,
Boom.
boom clever. I'm going to say clever because it's KLEV. There's no A in there. And it's also a hard K, not a soft C. So in German, it's Kleiber.
Kleiber.
Yeah. Boom equals tree and clever equals sticker. A tree sticker. Ah, that's cool.
What a fun one.
I'd say you're all right on pronunciation, Dee. Thank you, Barnacle Bum. I got one
That is
right.
a good improvement.
And tree sticker is class. You're right. I think that's a great name, tree sticker.
I love that.
So yeah, so that's been fantastic. So we've had a nuthatch for myself and a jelly ear from you. We'll show the jelly ear image again. There it is there.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Oh, it's been quite good so far.
Yeah, nice collection of it.
Nice collection. What should we do now? Should we talk about some cool upcoming stuff that we've got that we're currently discussing in the background to get people
I
excited?
think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, generate some hype.
Cool.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about your bit first? Like the idea that you had during the week that we're going to do?
Yes. Yeah, so, God, if you remember back to the RSPB streams, when I came onto the stream,
Yeah.
I was a guest with my partner. We came and talked about Raffin, our time there, and that's how I found the stream, and I stayed because I loved it so much.
You didn't stay. We roped you in, and
Yes.
we have never let you go.
Yes, help. But yes. So I was thinking it'd be nice to get some other people, some guest speakers coming on talking about cool projects they've been involved in, any volunteering work, any jobs or anything like that. So one of my friends is coming on in 2 weeks, so not the next stream, but the one after that.
The 20th, if
yes,
I remember correctly.
20th, yes. To talk about some of her work with some waterfall projects.
Waterfalls.
Should be very exciting. But yeah, hopefully we'll have a semi-regular, every now and then, some cool people coming to talk about some cool stuff. So yeah, we'll put some info on like the Discord chat and things, so people can come up with any questions they might have if they want to look anything up. So it'd be a really fun time. Yeah, we'll try and smooth out how the format and everything like that. So it might be a bit rough to start with, but it'll be very exciting.
It'd be great. So start thinking about any questions that you might have for our first guest on the 20th. Remember, it's about waterfall projects. So anything like that. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to see some awesome pictures of waterfalls.
Maybe. Might just be signs of waterfalls, but you never know.
You never know.
Fingers
I'm pretty sure I can get pictures of waterfalls. So they've just released some at a reserve near me that my friend works at, and he was sharing pictures. So I'll see if I can find them, or I'll just ask him again and see if he can send them to me. So we've definitely got pictures of waterfalls. That'll be ace because they're so cute.
They're adorable.
They are absolutely lovely. I used to see them all the time as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I was really lucky. And nowadays,
Wow.
Can we get an Andy Waterfall pic, please? Oh, I can.
Now that's the real question.
I might try this weekend because I know there's a good spot not far from me to actually see waterfalls. So I might go and sit down there and wait and see if I can spot some waterfalls.
That'd be very cool.
So yeah, I might do that this weekend. There you go.
Be fun.
Excellent. So that's the first announcement. Second announcement
Whoa.
is so obviously Nick was away for 3 months, and every second week you get me playing Grounded, so we had a gaming stream. Myself and Nick have been talking, and we are going to start doing a weekly gaming stream on top of this stream that we're doing now. So we'll have a wildlife stream, and then we'll have a gaming stream as well. We're looking at doing it on Fridays. We're not exactly 100% sure the start point for this yet, but I'm expecting it'll probably be this month.
Yeah.
So it'll be Friday evening from 7:30, so same time as this one. And we're going to be playing multiplayer games. So I think the first one we're going to try out is Planet Crafter, which is a little bit different. So you're basically on a Martian world, and you're in spacesuits, and we've got to try and turn it into a habitable world. So that'd be quite cool, actually. I'm looking forward to trying that one out. And then maybe we can get back to Grounded again, and you can join me in Grounded. That'd be ace.
That'd be a lot of fun.
It is intriguing, Barnacle. It's very intriguing.
Yeah, exciting times ahead.
Yes. So please join us on that as well. Again, hopefully more information on that next week on when we'll be starting those. We've both bought the first game now. We now just need to install it and try to give it a go. You've installed yours. I haven't installed mine. I'm going to install it right after the stream. So.
Yes. Yeah, I turned it on and played like half a minute just to check it works. I was like, okay, I gotta stop myself. Can't play anymore.
We can't go into this too much, because if we do, we'll ruin it for ourselves.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited for it though. Should be a lot of fun.
And then there's another game coming up soon that I think would be awesome, and I'm hoping. So I don't know if you remember, I played Subnautica on the RSPB stream. Have you ever heard the game Subnautica?
Oh, yeah.
You have, yeah. Absolutely amazing.
I watched for like the last.
Yeah.
Probably the last 4 or 5 streams you did there.
So Subnautica 2 is coming soon. So they've got there's a second Subnautica game called Subnautica Below Zero, which I have as well. But that's a single player. But Subnautica 2 is coming, and I'm hoping that's multiplayer.
Fingers crossed.
Because if it is, then that'd be amazing to play.
A lot of fun.
Pookie says it is multiplayer.
Yes.
Even better, thank you, Pookie. That means we can definitely play that together, and we can actually have fun underwater, trying not to drown, getting eaten by sand sharks and all that kind of jazz.
Sounds like a great Friday night.
Cool. Right. Moving on to our news. Which one? Shall you do one of yours first, and then we'll do mine, and then we can do your second?
Yeah.
So which one do you
I'll
want to do first?
I'll do my not so good news, and then we'll finish on good news. So the not so good news is from The Guardian, which was from today actually, saying UK is falling behind on sewage pollution regulation whilst the EU tightens their rules. EU member states agree to update urban wastewater treatment directive. So as I'm sure lots of people have been seeing on like social media and things, there's been lots of kind of talking on social media, and people are not so happy with the quality of the water here in the UK. And on was it Saturday? There was
Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember which one it was.
Over the weekend,
yeah,
there was a march in London, like there was back in June or so.
Yes, Store Nature now, but this one was about water.
Yeah, so demanding clean water. Yes, there is lots of talk and quite a lot of anger around quality of UK's water, and this is an article just talking a bit more about that. So the UK is falling further behind on sewage pollution regulation as the EU tightens its rules to clean up Europe's waterways, says critics. EU member states agreed on Tuesday to update the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive to strengthen rules to clean up sewage and chemical pollution from treatment plants. European countries will have to update their sewage systems and treatment plants so that large amounts of human waste and chemicals are removed from rivers by a deadline of 2035. Companies deemed responsible will be required to pay for the infrastructure changes. Meanwhile, the UK still has the old 1991 UWWT directive legislation, which was brought into EU law when the UK was still a member. The good old days. UK water companies are charged with rules from its original directive, such as not allowing sewage to spill from storm overflows into rivers except under exceptional circumstances, for example, extreme rainfall.
Exceptional circumstances for our water companies are whenever they feel like it. Carrying on.
Earlier this year, The Guardian revealed that the UK is falling behind the EU on almost every area of environmental regulation, as the bloc strengthens its legislation whilst the UK weakens it. In some cases, ministers are removing EU-derived environmental protections from the statute book entirely. Ben Reynolds, director of green think tank IEP UK, commented, "The recently adopted wastewater legislation in the EU increases and expands their standards to include things like a wider range of pollutants, such as microplastics. Standards in the UK are no longer keeping track and are falling behind. With the dire state of river pollution in this country, in part due to sewage, the UK should be looking hard at all options to tackle this, and keeping track with these higher standards alongside smarter investment and more resources for enforcement should be on the table." UK companies have failed in many cases to update infrastructure to meet the 1991 directive, resulting in record sewage spills, which I'm sure lots of people have heard about, in some cases happening when it is not raining at all. Meanwhile, the EU is updating requirements. The new EU directive specifically targets phosphorus and nitrate pollution, which come from human and animal waste and contribute to an excessive nutrients in rivers, causing algae and plants to grow in large volume and choking out the life in the waterway. This is removed by what is known as tertiary treatment, which is a more precise form of removing pollutants from water. In the 1991 directive, only water being discharged into sensitive areas, such as nature reserves, was required to go through tertiary treatment. The new EU rules require that all large wastewater treatment plants put their water through tertiary treatment. Human health while swimming in open water is also addressed in the EU rules. Wastewater from certain treatment centres will have to go through a new and even stricter form of water treatment known as quaternary treatment, which removes micropollutants from water. These come from industrial chemicals, pharmaceuticals, cosmetic products, pesticides, and hormones. Assessments of threats to human health from these pollutants, including specifically to bathing waters, must be made. These rules are not being carried across to the UK. There are fears the costs of implementing the new provisions will be significant in many EU member states. Britain wasn't the only country struggling to reach the targets set even in the old rules. There's TMO Vulcan, I hope that's pronounced correctly, a German MEP from the centre-left Socialists and Democrats, who sits on the European Parliament's Environment Committee. Especially in countries that have joined the EU more recently, you can still find many, sometimes a majority of plants that are not in compliance. To ease the burden of ensuring cleaner waters, the new directive pushes most of the infrastructure costs onto industries such as cosmetics and pharmaceuticals, forcing manufacturers to pay for the removal of pollutants their plants spew into the water. Vulcan said it is problematic that the practical example of making polluters pay is not implemented in the UK, where the privatisation wave lies at the heart of the problem that exposed British citizens to raw sewage in their beautiful rivers and beaches. If EU states manage to implement the changes, sewer systems across Europe will become far more sophisticated than in the UK, leading to healthier waters that are more hospitable to people and wildlife. Mark Owen, director of the European Anglers Alliance, said that there was a lot of public and government awareness in the UK, with sewage and pollution having made headlines daily for the last 2 years, but that the new Labour government had not yet made concrete proposals. You must remember, we've been screaming about this from the rooftops for decades, he added. So yes, quite a relevant topic, you could say, but as I was saying, it's been going on for decades. But yes, a lot of anger with the quality of our waters.
I want to point out something. So UK companies have failed in many cases to update infrastructure to meet the 1991 directive, resulting in record sewage spills. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that. So there's a word in there that I think is used incorrectly. Which word do we think that is?
Spills, maybe?
It is spills. Why do you think I think that is used incorrectly?
I guess it makes it sound like a spill is unintentional.
Yep.
And it's like, oh no, it's spilled over.
It's an accident. You spill something by accident. It's not an
True.
accident. They are doing it on purpose.
Sewage release.
Like sewage release.
Contamination.
Yeah, 100%. Now,
that's a very good point. I hadn't thought about that.
so the words that we use are really important. I think that's why, like, so people like Greta Thunberg, very good. Chris Packham, they're very specific on the words that they use, and they don't. If they use a word, it's there for a purpose. But spill is not a. This, like you say, gives the impression that it's been done accidentally, not on purpose. But we know for a fact that every single water company in England, at least, probably Wales and Scotland, have been releasing untreated sewage into our rivers and waterways on purpose because it's cheaper to do so than it is to treat it. And then when they're caught, the fines just have no impact on them whatsoever.
It'd be cheaper to spill and then get the fine than it is to treat it.
Yeah,
I think it's
100%.
just easier.
100%. So, there we go.
So not so good news, but hopefully with all this pressure, something good might come out. Fingers crossed.
Well, we can only hope. What could be done about it? There's a few things that could be done about Barnacle Bomb. Number one, bringing water companies back into public ownership, I think, is the first step. They are far more in. What they want is they want to make their shareholders money instead of actually running a business that does the job. And the biggest issue you've got with it happening in the UK is it's all monopolies. So every single water company, like, I don't have a choice. I have to get my water and have my sewage treated by Severn Trent. I have no choice. I can't go. It can't be like electricity. Like, I can't go to Octopus Energy or British Gas or Scottish Power or anything like that. It's like fundamentally all the cables are the same, but I have no choice about who treats my water. I have to go now. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Thanks, Nathan. Great to have you joining us.
Bye, Nathan. Have a good week.
Look forward to seeing some more fantastic picks from you. So yeah, I think the first step is to bring water companies back into public ownership. And the first one that should have gone is Thames Water, but somehow, even though they were about to go bust like 6 months ago, they managed to hold on, and then suddenly they've got funding from somewhere that's going to keep them going for a year. So,
oh wow.
And I feel for people who have to deal with Thames Water because they're asking for a 70% increase in payments from the bill payer to be able to deal with the sewage spills and to line their pockets even more. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. To deal with the sewage spills, but actually putting in proper infrastructure to do it, when actually they should have been doing that in the first place.
To do the bare minimum.
So there we go.
Yeah, I guess as like a personal thing, you could write to local MPs, you could join like demonstrations and marches, things like that, like there was over the weekend in London, raising awareness, social media, friends, family, and so on.
I'm pretty sure there's some people who have taken their water companies to court over them not dealing with the
Really?
sewage coming out. Yeah, and they're not asking for like them to deal with it. What they're saying is, well, I'm not going to pay half my bill because you give me clean water, but you're not dealing with my sewage. So I'll pay you for the clean water, but I'm not going to pay you for not dealing with my sewage. So I'm paying for both parts,
Yeah.
but you're only supplying half of it. So
No, that's a very good point.
you know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
last year Scottish Water's generated leaked fuel into our water supply. Wow,
Oh my gosh.
crazy! It's the same as like look at Lake Windermere at the moment.
Hmm.
Like watching Fergal Sharkey, he's been challenged by LBC, which is a news channel, to prove that the waterways are as polluted as they are. So he went to, I think it was, I can't remember which one. It was a Severn Trent. I think it was River Severn. He went to the River Severn, and he did the tests. And he was like, okay, so the phosphate levels are through the roof, the nitrate levels are through the roof, blah blah blah. This is dangerous. Don't get in it, okay? And then Severn Trent went, oh, that was a one-off. That's not what it was. And he went, okay then. And he went to the Trent and he did exactly the same tests with similar results. And he's like, it's not a fluke. This happens everywhere.
God. Yeah. It is. Yeah. It's just unbelievable on so many levels.
Yeah.
Where so many companies like oil and gas and those things are now like these private water companies are like, no, it's fine. It's not a problem. Even like the face of everyone knowing it's a problem, and in the past they've like even said it's a problem. They know it's a problem, all that stuff, and just denying it. Yeah, I watched a really good documentary. Sorry, it's on YouTube about Loch Neagh in Northern Ireland and the pollution that's been going on there. I think they knew about it in the 60s, and there's this whole controversy and thing. But yeah, just basically the same thing. All this unirrigated sewage, all this fertilizer runoff and things, causing these algal blooms on the largest freshwater lake in Northern Ireland, and having all these problems, and it's not going to recover for 50 years or so if everything will stop now. So lots of problems.
To give you an idea, The Simpsons covered this in an episode over a decade ago.
That's never a good sign.
Okay, when Lake Springfield was poisoned to the point where like everyone was, we cannot do anything else. We cannot dump anything else into this. Blinky the three-eyed fish. Thank you, Barnacle Bum. We cannot dump anything else into this, and then Homer goes and dumps like all the pig poo because he got himself a pig. Oh, it was the movie. It was the Simpsons movie, not an episode. It's the Simpsons movie. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
And he goes and dumps all like the oh my god, spider pig does whatever a spider pig does. Can he spin from a web? No, he can't. He's spider pig. Look out!
He's spider pig.
He's not spider pig. He's Harry Plopper.
That's
from the same thing. You're kind of lucky that the rivers in the UK originate in the UK. The Netherlands is called the sewer ditch of Europe sometimes. Yeah, because you'll have stuff coming from all over the place, won't you, Pookie?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But yeah, it's just, you know what I mean? It's like, it's something that all countries do. And nobody holds these people to ransom for it. We're the ones being held to ransom, and we're the ones paying for the privilege, might I say, of them polluting our rivers. You know what I mean? It's just nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, moving on to something similar. So a couple of weeks,
in a great mood.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I find this, like, I shared this story on our WhatsApp chat.
This one, yeah.
A little while ago. Okay, a few days ago. To the point, because I was laughing. Okay, at this. So a couple of weeks ago, I I was talking about, I didn't show it, but Channel 4 Dispatches did like a 8-minute video on with the RSPB persecution team, who'd managed to record gamekeepers somewhere in the United Kingdom hunting, talking about, and killing hen harriers and buzzards. Okay, so not much has been heard about this since, but a few days ago, the Moorland Association responded to that video. So the Moorland Association's response to that damaging video audio aired on Channel 4 News. So this is on the Raptor Persecution website blog. Fantastic blog, by the way. Absolutely amazing. I read it regularly. So do please check them out. I will put the link in chat now. Apologies, I've just hidden us again. There we go. So the Moorland Association, a lobby group for grouse moor owners in Northern England, has issued a statement in response to the Channel 4 exclusive last week that featured covertly filmed RSPB footage showing 3 gamekeepers on an unnamed grouse moor plotting to kill and then apparently killing an untagged hen harrier. In its rattled response, the Moorland Association forgot to mention its deep concern about the appalling and seemingly criminal behaviour of those 3 gamekeepers, as so clearly exposed by the RSPB's footage, and instead focused on its deep concern that the RSPB had passed the footage to Channel 4, claiming the RSPB's action could materially affect a police investigation. On the contrary, the RSPB and Channel 4 took great care, not to name the grouse moor in which the gamekeepers had been filmed, not even the country in which it had been filmed, and B, not to reveal the identities of the 3 gamekeepers caught red-handed. In addition, the Moorland Association was not privy to the communications between the RSPB and the police about this footage. I think it's very revealing that the Moorland Association seems to be more concerned with protecting the image of the grouse shooting industry than rooting on the criminals within it. Here's the MA's statement in full. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up and we're going to read this. Sorry, you can't see it all because it's on thing here. Statement on video footage broadcast on Channel 4 News on the 22nd October. This is the 24th of October this was released. As part of its coverage of publication of the RSPB Bird Crime Report 2023, Channel 4 News broadcast footage allegedly showing a wildlife crime being committed on a shooting estate. The Moorland Association is deeply concerned over the actions of the RSPB in providing such footage to a media organisation which could materially affect a police investigation. The Moorland Association has written to the RSPB seeking immediate clarification on this matter. We were told by Channel 4 that the covert filming was 60 minutes in duration, and therefore we have raised the question as to why the preventative action could not have been taken to avert a bird being killed, as the footage appears to show. We are concerned about the risk of prejudice to the course of justice. Every citizen has a duty to inform the police if they have evidence of a crime, and while the RSPB may have handed this footage to the police, their actions in providing footage to a media organisation at this stage looks more like prioritising publicity over dealing appropriately with a potentially criminal matter. The Moorland Association is keen to work closely with the police to address this issue, but our efforts are being hampered by the actions of the RSPB.
Those darn RSPB.
Oh my word! How
them.
dare the RSPB covertly videotape this and then not step in and help that poor bird? How dare they? You know, camera traps don't exist. We can't do it with camera traps. What a bunch, excuse my French, what a bunch of fuckwits. They are ignorant, and all they're trying to do is save their own skins. That is it. Why do you not think that they didn't come to you? Because they've probably come to you many, many, many times before, and you've done sod all to actually fix the problem. You've never brought anybody to justice. You've never fired anybody, I bet. And you've never actually sorted it out on any of the grouse moors or moorland areas that you help manage and you work alongside. bunch of... Oh. I will carry on saying what this person said, the blog.
Yeah.
The last line made me laugh out loud, as it did both of us, I have to say.
Yeah.
The Moorland Association is keen to work closely with the police to address this issue, but our efforts are being hampered by the actions of the RSPB. What efforts are those then, and how exactly are those efforts being hampered by the release of that footage? The MA should be grateful to RSPB for its skill and tenacity in securing such clear evidence of what's going on that grouse moor, and no doubt on many other grouse moors too. Just to give you an idea, a golden eagle was found today in a plastic bag chopped up.
Really?
Okay? So,
Yeah.
this would have probably happened close to a grouse moor. Moorland Association, what are you doing to help with that? Surely, if the Moorland Association is so committed as it claims to a zero tolerance policy against raptor persecution, it should be thanking the RSPB for demonstrating A, illegal raptor persecution is still going on, and B, where it's going on and who's doing it, and C, how the crimes are being committed. But then, this is the organisation whose CEO, I'm not going to name them, but you can read it on screen, was recently booted off the national partnership designed to tackle illegal raptor persecution in England and Wales, the Raptor Persecution Priority Delivery Group, or RPPDG, after the Moorland Association had published an inflammatory blog that looked to be an attempt to sabotage the National Wildlife Unit's new Hen Harrier Task Force. That blog wasn't a one-off incident either. We later learned that Gilreth, sorry, I just named them, had been ejected from the group for wasting time and distracting from the real work of tackling raptor persecution for some time, according to a senior police officer. Yeah, there we go. I shan't carry on. It's just...
Comedic.
It is unbelievable. It's absolutely and utterly unbelievable how you can say something like that. You can see that, what's happened, and then that's your response. Instead of turn running and congratulating a fantastic piece of investigative journalism, okay, number one, catch them in the act. Number two, show the world that it's happening. And I say world figuratively, and you can just turn and say the UK, but number one, it's the world because it's online. And number three, actually be trying to get something done about it. Now, obviously, none of us know if it is being progressed and those three gamekeepers have been caught, if they're being charged, and if so, what level of charge they will get. But that evidence is damning. So instead of congratulating the RSPB and Channel 4 for bringing this to light, what you're doing is you're turning around and trying to make excuses. The other thing is you don't know when that stuff actually was filmed, and because I can't remember if it was filmed this year or last year. I don't know if the dispatches or the Channel 4 news segment actually talked about what happened, but it could have happened last year. Therefore, it can't be affecting an investigation because the investigation should be over by now.
Yeah, it's every part of their statement and thinking is just, if you think about it for like half a second,
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm curious what they've written to the RSPB about. We're saying we've gotten contact, and so it must have been very entertaining to read that. Also infuriating, but yeah.
Yeah, 5th of November, dismembered golden eagle found in plastic bag. Police Scotland appeal for information.
Another time's like, oh, it's a one-off incident, and it's not.
Oh, of course
bad.
it is. Of course it's a one-off incident. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Shall I do a good news story?
Let's do a good news. So let's finish it on good news. Let's finish it on good news. I've had my rant.
We'll finish with a tiny toad.
Look how small it is!
Everyone loves a tiny toad. Yes, this is one from the Good News Network, but I think a lot of other places covered it as well. but saying the world's second smallest vertebrate has been discovered, a tiny toad living in a Brazilian rainforest. Researchers measured the flea toad at just over a quarter of an inch, or 6.95 millimeters in length, which is just adorable, and it can fit on the tip of a finger. Even more unique, it emerges from an egg fully formed rather than just a tadpole, which is cool. The name of the new species, B. dacnus or darkness, pays tribute to Project Darkness, a conservation, research, and education nonprofit that maintains private areas of the Atlantic rainforest, a South American rainforest that extends along the Atlantic coast of Brazil, where the animal was found. There are small toads with all the characteristics of large toads except for their size, explained Louis Philippe Toledo, a correspondence author of the study and a biology professor at the State University of Campinas or Unicamp. However, this genus is different. During its evolution, it underwent what we biologists call miniaturization, which involves loss, reduction, and/or fusion of bones, as well as few digits and absence of other parts of their anatomy. This is the 7th species of flea toad described in the genus Brachycephalus. The only smaller vertebrate belongs to a different species in the same genus, B. pulex. Living among leaf litter, the researchers' attention was drawn to the animal by its vocalizations, which is distinct to the species, and cue an adorable picture. It's so tiny, it's being so mighty. DNA sequencing confirmed that the toad found in Ubatuba, I hope that's correct, on the coast of the Sao Paulo state, was indeed a new species. Toledo said that the use of historical DNA sequencing obtained from zoological museums and herbarium specimens cleared up any remaining uncertainty. In the description of the new species, besides the requisite anatomical traits, the researchers included information about the skeleton and internal organs, as well as molecular data and details of its vocalizations. The diversity of these miniature frogs may be far greater than we think, hence the importance of describing as many traits and features as possible to expedite the description process and to get to work on conservation as quickly as possible, Toledo said. Yeah, good news, tiny cute frog.
That is cool. That is super cool, that is. Look how sweet it is. It's so nice.
So cute. And then it's like, yeah, when it's coming, its vocalization, it's going to be big and scary.
It is so dinky, Barnacle, you're right. So dinky.
Good word for it.
Dinky.
Dinky toad.
I love it. That was a great find for a news story. That cheered me up, thank you.
Yeah, if we needed a good news.
We needed a good news story there. We got it.
This week.
Stupid people. That's all I'm going to say. Stupid people.
Good frog, stupid people.
Awesome. And that's it. We're done.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that. So we're back next week. Should be joined by Kat again.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what you might be talking about next week?
I have absolutely no idea.
I know what I want to talk about, but I need to get a picture of it. So
motivates you.
So that's what I'll try and do this weekend. Is I'll try and get a picture of said species, and then
yeah, I want to get out and get see some good fungi.
Fungi would be cool. I got some decent pictures of fungi while I was out as well. I'm holding on to them at the moment though. And then we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah.
Does anybody in chat have any plans for this coming week? Any cool wildlife trips? Any wildlife you might see? Please let us know.
Yeah, they were coming kind of more directly into the winter now.
Yeah.
Temperatures are going to start dropping for good, as such, for the end of autumn.
Lots of leaves on the ground, so if you fancy looking for some invertebrates, I do recommend finding big piles of leaves and sifting through them. Some fantastic stuff. We'll see what the weather is doing. Eep. That's very true, Barnacle. It's been fantastic here, actually. The weather's been, so still.
Yeah, it's been very consistent. Just kind of low cloud, mild temperatures.
Yeah,
That's it for like I feel like the last week.
that's what we've had as well. But yeah, lots of invertebrates in leaf litter at the moment. I saw some massive woodlouse today. Huge. Honestly, the same size as the end of my pinky. They were just
Oh my gosh,
they're just massive woodlouse. I was like, wow.
that's cool.
Vibrant green caterpillars hiding amongst my coal bags. Yeah, I've been seeing lots of vibrant green caterpillars
That's
as
cool.
well. Very small, tiny little things all curled up. No idea what they are, but
I think the tiny green ones could be a mixture of things. So I think it makes them
a tongue
even harder.
louse. Ooh, no, I'm pretty sure it wasn't a tongue louse barnacle bomb, thankfully. I'd forgotten all about that until you reminded me there. That's my nightmares back again for tonight.
Thanks, Barnacle. Halloween's never quite over.
But there we go. Cool, right. Shall we get ourselves off?
I guess we should.
We should. I need to go download and install Planet Crafter. Make sure it works. And then hopefully soon we will have our first gaming stream.
That'd be fun.
To come weekly.
A new era.
A new era.
Stuck with us twice a week.
2 streams a week.
Crazy.
It's been a roller coaster. Thanks, Barnacle Bomb. It has been a roller coaster. You've got me shouting down the microphone. Not to anybody here, but anybody who might watch it from a specific association. Or anyone who seems to think that that's the way things should be done. There we go. Cool. Right. We're going to get ourselves off. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. It's been amazing. We will be back next week with Kat for some more wildlife encounters, some more news, and some more species focus. And then, the week after that, we will have our first guest.
Exciting times ahead.
Yeah, so remember to get your water vole questions ready. I could also include anything to do with wetlands and like their habitats and stuff as well. That'd be quite cool.
That's true. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be specifically on water voles themselves. There we go. Anyway, we will see you next week, folks. Thank you so much again.
Have a lovely week.
Bye, everyone.